really let the ball drop here in the last couple of years, you know? Listen, I said I'd be hands-off, but, you know, I wish I would have been a little more hands-on in the past 2 years, because it has been a shit show, you know? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Jack having his season of being God. He said he was going to be hands-off, but guess what? That was a lie. Jack is back. He's fixing the war. He's lowering gas prices. And in my usual fake promise to every crowd, everyone gets a puppy on the way out. So that would be my show premise at this point. Everyone gets a puppy and everybody can afford to drive. That's all I got for you. And maybe we'll stab some vampires. Hello!
Hi, my name is Kaylee. I'm from Wisconsin and this is my first convention.
Ooh! I remember you guys. You guys had the matching cast outfits.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if you've ever had any real-life paranormal experiences?
Real-life paranormal experiences. Do you have one? Give her back the mic.
Yeah, I have a lot. My house is haunted.
Your house is haunted. Stop taking the mic away from her. I'm trying to have a conversation here. So what would be like a brief one that you've experienced recently that was you're like, oh my god, this happened in my own house in Wisconsin?
Well, I moved, so I haven't had any paranormal experiences recently, but like at our house, like there's a cemetery that's haunted, and so.
Oh, you're next to the cemetery.
No, we're not next to it. It's by our house.
What's the difference? It's close.
Yeah, it's known.
The spirits are floating. The spirits travel.
Yeah, one time we were there and it's known to be haunted, and we saw like these two old people walking, and they looked like they were from the 1700s. It was pretty scary.
All right, that's not great. I do like though that the cemetery is not next to your house; it's close, but these spirits are willing to commute for you. That's pretty cool. Maybe they have a message for you.
Maybe, I hope not.
Maybe it's really cool. Maybe they're like, we have a secret, we know where the gold's hidden, or something.
No, they should leave a note.
You're asking a lot of these spirits. They should leave a note, they should leave a map. This isn't the Shawshank Redemption, you know? It's not like that. In terms of my paranormal experiences, I wouldn't say that I've had a full-blown, that's funny, full-blown paranormal experience, but I was shooting in New Orleans, and we were shooting on a plantation. You guys remember that, right? Slavery?
Yeah. Not personal.
Hey, I'm in America, okay? I didn't do this, you guys did. So we were shooting on a plantation. It was very eerie because it had its own cemetery. So, yeah, just like being in that location, I definitely was feeling unnerved and unwell. But also, it's where Beyonce shot a music video. So, fun fact. These are just the truths here. Hello!
Hi, Alex. My question hopefully is straightforward. What are your...
Whenever someone prompts that, it makes me seem like we're going to go on a bit of a journey.
A small one.
It's like when someone says, I don't mean to offend you, but...
It should be simple. What are your future plans, or what do you hope to see in your future moving forward from Supernatural?
A pool. I really like a pool. You know, I really like to swim. I like to be outside.
That sounds awesome.
So in terms of my plans, swim would be nice. I don't know, traveling, I guess. Really amazing part about this job is, you know, I get to see a lot of places, see a lot of things, see a lot of people. Yeah, that would be something I'd like to continue doing. Why, do you have a plan for me?
Lots of plans, but we're not going to talk about them.
I'm going to wake up in the trunk of your car. How was the convention? I'll be like, ooh, baby.
On the way back home. But
I will not fit in the carry-on baggage, I'm sorry.
More in regards are, do you see your future in TV or movies or?
Whatever pays me first. Yeah. Yeah. You know, if there's I see a very small child behind you, so we'll see what I'm gonna say. But yeah, no, I'm in a career field that's very hard to predict, so I've given up trying to predict what's gonna happen a long time ago. Like, for example, did I think that shooting one season of a television show that 6 years later I'd be in Chicago doing this in front of hundreds of people? No, that was not part of the plan, but here we are.
Hello, Alex.
Hello.
I'll come a little closer after I ask my question, if that's okay.
Sure.
Right here. Yeah, so my question is from Melina, a friend who also likes you. And the question is, what is the most inspirational quote in your life and how has it affected you?
That's a very difficult question to sum up. Yeah, I have posted some stuff on my Twitter before. Yeah, that's a very difficult question. I think a great one would be don't fuck it up. Just puts a ton of pressure on yourself. It's hard to sum up a whole life. Yeah, no, really tough question. I wish you would have asked me this question earlier, so I would have given you a good response in time. Yeah. I've given you that one before. Yeah. Yeah. Don't let your life be taken into some sort of submission of sorts. There's always a light, I guess would be the poem. I'll give you the actual name of the poem here in a bit when I remember it. Do you remember the name of it? Thank you. See? You know. Yeah, just read The Laughing Heart by Charles Bukowski, and then that would be the best thing I could sum up. Unfortunately, I can't read it for you right now, because, you know, I can't remember it. Yeah, I think I'm bad at giving life advice, you know? Okay, thank you. You guys are like, you certainly are giving bad life advice here.
Hi, I'm Abby.
Hi, Abby.
I was wondering, are there any kids movies or any movies from your childhood that you found to be traumatizing, disturbing, or just weird?
Like a movie that you saw way too early as a child, or like a kid's movie that you're like, looking back, you're like, well, that's messed up.
Either or, because I know there's some movies that I was like, why was I allowed to watch this? Or like TV shows that I'm like, that's like the creature of nightmares. How was I allowed to watch that as a kid?
I don't know, the Sleeping Beauty thing kind of weirded me out, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of the Disney stuff now, looking back, you're kind of like, why is she living with 7 dudes, you know? You're like, I don't want to know what happens. Yeah, I don't know. Those ones are kind of weird when you look back on it. I was very sheltered. I didn't really have access to like television or film, so like mostly I had one TV channel. So I didn't really get to be too traumatized that way. But if you look back, the Disney stuff's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, very lucky you were sheltered.
What happened to you? Are you just want to open a therapy session here?
I was mostly like for like the end of the millennial generation with like Courage the Cowardly Dog, the TV show on Cartoon Network is probably why everybody's so messed up. Because like they had the weirdest frickin' monsters and like the weirdest characters. That's like, oh god, why was I allowed to watch that?
Okay, and I guess the other one too would be like, you know, everyone as a kid they're like Alice in Wonderland, lovely. So everyone's first introduction to drugs, I suppose. Down the rabbit hole. I mean, I would really interested to be in that office in like the 1960s, where they're like, here's the story. It's for kids. She goes on an acid trip. You know?
Thank you.
Thanks. What? Yeah. They're just weird. The problem with the Teletubbies is like, I think of the dudes with the beards like underneath. They're like, la 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 la, and they take off the thing, they're like, ugh, tough day, you know? Light up a cigarette or something, I don't know. Hi.
Hi, my name is Sonia, and I was wondering if you could have any celebrity like guest star in the Supernatural for you to like interact with, which celebrity would you choose?
Well, I just watched the first episode of season 3 of The Boys. Have you guys seen that yet? So I thought it was pretty cool that, spoilers, Charlize Theron was in it. I thought that was really cool. She just shows up as Stormfront. I was like, that's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna steal that one. I think she's fantastic. If you guys have seen Mad Max or Atomic Blonde, have you guys seen that movie? She kicked some serious ass. She would like break both my arms. It would probably be awesome. Thanks. Hello.
Hi, my name is Mary. I'm a local. And
Hey, how's that deep dish though? What up? How do you feel about Chief Keef?
what?
Some of you got it. Anyways, Chief Keef.
Okay. My question is there anything that you can share about the Dead Boy Detective Agency, about your new role as Thomas the Cat King?
Yes, there is something I can share that I am not on that show anymore. No.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I've been doing this tour for a while now where I have to disappoint people.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's not your fault. It's Ruth Connell's fault. So if anybody can point the finger at, it's gotta be pointed at Ruth. I'm kidding, I'm really excited for her. Yeah, this is a tough business that I signed up for willingly, so kind of take your lumps. That being said, I'm really excited for Ruth, and the rest of the cast is great, so, you know. So that's what I gotta tell you.
Okay. Well, thank you.
No problem.
Hey, what's up? So I'm Steven. I talked to you yesterday a little bit.
Hello.
But I just wanted to ask if you have any specific red flags, like maybe you don't like when people dislike wearing socks or something like that.
You're gonna have a tough time dating, my friend.
I said nothing about myself in that. I didn't.
Well, no, that's just a very specific kind of red flag. It's like, you're like, oh, socks? See ya. Yeah, that's kind of
Sorry about it.
That's kind of a tough one. I think there's always the one, if someone's mean to a waiter, that's kind of a red flag. Or anybody in the service industry, you know? Yeah, that's definitely a red flag. My first job was a dishwasher. So I've worked a lot of jobs before doing this ridiculous one. Before getting to pretend to play a child, yeah, I scrubbed off people's dishes. So I think if you're an asshole to a waiter, you know, that's a huge red flag, you know? Or just being extremely selfish. I think that's an easy one. But for you, sucks. Hello.
Hi.
I'm sorry for what I said earlier.
It's okay.
Thank you.
So my question is, have you ever been in a high school musical or play?
Oh, have you?
Yes.
How old are you?
10.
All right, I'm doing the math here. Now, I've never been good at math, but I'm pretty sure you're not in high school yet.
I'm not in high school yet. I am going to 5th grade.
Okay, well listen, this is obviously a very oppressive situation. How were you in a high school musical or play already?
What?
Oh, I thought you had been in one.
I have.
Okay, maybe I'm not a good listener. What?
I meant like a school musical or play.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in high school musical, and I was like, that's very impressive for a young man such as yourself.
Tiny Tim!
Right?
Tiny Tim.
I feel like you should be doing this panel, not me. I feel like we could all be learning from you. What was the play or musical you did?
I have been in both a play and a musical.
Which was your favorite?
That's a hard decision.
Well, there's only 2 of them, so... You can say both, it's okay, there's no wrong answer.
Both.
Okay. I did get cast in a high school play once. I got cast in The Diary of Anne Frank. A fun, lighthearted tale. Someone will have to remind me, please shout it out. It's like the guy that she's into. Peter? Peter! Yeah, I got cast to play Peter, but then I was really excited to do the part, but then I got cast in a movie to play a young breakdancer. So, kind of a different role than Peter. I don't think Peter was doing a lot of breakdancing. Sorry, this is just for me now. So yeah, I got cast, but then I wasn't able to do the play, unfortunately, because I did the breakdancing movie instead, because they offered me money. But I hope you do a lot of plays. Going to plays is one of my favorite things to do, especially, you know, anything you can see, I think is fantastic. When you're older, you should see a play called Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross.
Yes!
But when you're older, talk to your parents. Did you have fun this weekend?
I had a lot of fun.
You're very eloquent. Thank you for your question. Hello.
My name is Nikki, and I just wanted to say that I think our photo op picture came out really, really good.
10 out of 10?
Yeah.
Yes.
My question was, if you could relive any moment in your life, what would it be?
Are you a very nostalgic person?
Yes.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Are you meant to? There's stuff to look back on that you can be fond of for sure. I don't know. I think if you're in the moment, then you can hopefully take in as much as possible. But I don't know. I guess I'd go back to like maybe sometime in my early 20s when I was, you know. I think there's a really interesting time in your life when you're taking in the most information, you're taking in the most like new songs and movies. Like that's why everybody looks back and has their nostalgic music. For some people it's Rolling Stones, other people it's Blink-182. For this crowd, I feel like it's closer to Blink-182. Hey guys, doesn't it suck that the music that you grew up with is now considered nostalgic music? Getting old is a son of a bitch, isn't it? Yeah, maybe to go back to live some of those times again when I was a little more carefree and not as serious. No, I don't know. There's so much that life offers to be thankful for that I don't really want to look back too much, you know? Thanks. Hi.
My name's Melissa, I live in Wisconsin.
Woo! A lot of Wisconsin people here this weekend, eh?
First of all,
And I got no cheese. No cheese this weekend.
they do have the best cheese, I'm not gonna lie. And I live in Wisconsin, so.
Tough look here. Love the cheese, hate the state. Go what? Go Packers. I think he said go Crappers. And I was like, I haven't heard of that team.
They have called the Bears.
Oh! You know who I miss? I miss Jay Cutler. You know? I always picture him like smoking a cigarette at like halftime, you know? Football. Anyways,
First I want to apologize, I missed your autograph session today, so I was down with Jared and Jensen.
I don't feel like that was a real apology. Like, oh my god, sorry I missed it. I was on a private plane, like hanging out, like whatever. Eating the cheese that I love, whatever.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
I really am sorry, Alex. Please forgive me. Is that
No. You're not as good a liar as you think.
Sorry. Anyway, if you had a theme song for your life, or a song that would play every time you walked into a room, what would that be?
Blink-182, what's my age again? And this one, work sucks. I know. That would be me walking in everywhere. Why, what would yours be?
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe something from Bishop Briggs. You know Bishop?
No, am I not country enough for y'all?
Oh, she's not country, but she's very edgy rock, and she's got a set of pipes on her. She's amazing.
She works out? Cool.
Highways and rivers and fire. Yeah, no, check it out. She's really good.
Something Bishop.
Something Bishop. Bishop Briggs.
Bishop Briggs. I'll stay with Blink. Hi.
Hi, I'm Erica. I am I go to school in Chicago. My question is, what was it like coming into a show that already had a substantial fan base and actors that have been on the show for a long time?
A little nerve-wracking. Yeah, I mean, obviously I knew about the show, and I knew that it had been on for, you know, a lifetime. So, no, it was really nerve-wracking because obviously the show was doing something really well. So, for me, I just wanted to contribute and, you know, show different sides of Sam and Dean and Cass, and to see what kind of Jack could reveal about the other characters that, you know, you guys didn't already know. So that was kind of my goal, but definitely nerve-wracking, like coming into a job for the first time, but then you're at your desk, but you're naked, you know? So that was kind of my experience. Lunch was super awkward. With no pants, oh God.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
My name's Aurora, and I'm from Wisconsin. Woo, go Packers.
Go Trappers, baby.
Did you guys say go go Bears? Go Bears!
Go Bears! Go Bears! Go Bears!
I'm sorry, you guys want to be left alone, or what? You guys can fight in the parking lot.
Oh, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Mom, you did not hear that, Mom.
Hey, it's your time, you know, you do you.
Are you a cat person or a dog person?
You Team Sam or Team Dean?
I am Team Sam.
There's no right answer. I love all animals. I see you there, puppy. My favorite is whenever people have dogs and I get to meet the dogs. It's a real highlight for me. Because I have to try to contain myself, you know? And I'm like, can I have your autograph? The dogs don't give me that autograph, though. Hi.
Hi, I'm Robin. I saw you earlier in your photo op.
That makes sense. I was there, right?
Yes, you were there.
Nice.
I gave you a hug. And it turned out amazing.
Another 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Check.
So my question for you is, if you were to have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Probably the ability to read minds.
Would you be?
Dark? What? I don't know. I think I've always, what I like about this job is that I'm continually trying to like understand humans. And I think I'm still trying to figure it out. So I feel like if I was able to do that, then I'd be able to like understand why people do things, or, you know, to be able to connect with people differently. So that would be nice. And the ability to fly would be cool too. Hi.
Hi, my name's Juliana. This is my first con.
How you feeling?
Nervous?
How many other first timers are there? 6 out of 10? 10 out of 10. There we go. Welcome.
I saw you earlier, like also for my photos. It turned out good.
10 out of 10. All right.
So I was wondering, what would you do if acting didn't work out?
Dark questions. What would I do if acting? Well, I mean, I could always go back to bartending, you know? Get people wasted. I could totally do that. The problem is that, like, occasionally, if I was bartending, I'd get someone being like, "Aren't you that guy?" And then I'd be like, I was. I always thought I'd be a really good, like an advertising person. I think I could do that well. I had this delusion based on watching too much Mad Men that I'd be good at that job. For the people that like Blink-182, I'm pretty sure you haven't watched Mad Men, but that's okay. Yeah, I think advertising Or just start an OnlyFans, you know? No half and half. You can't half-ass OnlyFans, can you?
Hi, my name is
That would be a cheeky response, no? Hi.
I'm Wisconsin, and I promise next time I'll bring you cheese.
Nice.
And my question is, what was your favorite episode of Supernatural the film?
I mean, that's a difficult question. I really liked, like, when I was dying, I'm like, I think I was dying a couple times. I really liked doing the road trip episode with Jack and Dean when, yeah, that one was really fun because it was kind of like, you know, kind of like a bucket list kind of episode and doing all these things before Jack died, which was pretty sad. But it was really fun. I got to drive the Impala. There was an implication that like Dean took me to a bar, which I feel like would have been a fun scene. We got to like go fishing. It was very wholesome and fun and like, I don't know. I think that was just like an important episode for Jack and Dean as well. He kind of turned on me later. You know, 1 second, he's like, let's go to a bar, kid. And then like 2 episodes later, he's like, Jack's not family. So I'm like, which one is it, you know? I thought I was a Winchester. I thought I was in the club. Thank you.
Not technically.
So yeah, that one was really fun to film. And any episode where I got to do any kind of stunt was just a blast for me. I love working with the stunt team and, you know, contributing to making something is my favorite. So I'd say that one. Do you have a favorite Jack episode that I'm in?
Honestly, I would have to say your first full episode, because the nougat line will forever live in my memory, because it was one of my favorite lines ever.
I'm still really unsure why I said the line that way. Like, I've seen it back now, I've seen a gif of it, and I think about it and I go, why the hell did I say it like that? Because I've never said any other line like that in my life. I have no explanation. But thank you, the nougat line, yeah. If the problem is that like, if I get hit by a car today, they'll be like, R.I.P. Alex, think you like nougat. Probably be on my tombstone at this point, so thanks everyone.
Howdy Alex, my name is Steph.
Howdy.
I was going to ask you, kind of piggybacking off of the previous question, was there any episode or scene or stunt that was the most challenging for you? Whether it be emotionally, or stunt-wise?
Really, like when you're shooting these shows, I mean, Jared and Jensen could speak to it a lot more than I could, but I mean, it's just long days, you know, so it's really, really about endurance, I guess. Just kind of like keeping your energy level over 12 or 14 hours is kind of the trick. But definitely the episodes where you have to cry, you have to do something emotional. Those kind of cost you personally, so they're not really too fun to film. And it's also not like, you know, maybe you're at home, you cry once, right? Whereas this, they're like, you're crying, you're upset, you're like thinking about dead relatives or whatever, and then they're like, cut, and they're like, done, and you're like, oh, thank God, that was hard. And they go, we're gonna do it again, and you're like, oh God, okay. Psych yourself up again. So I'd say those ones are hard, but I mean, listen, I'm very thankful I'm not washing dishes, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. It's always a bright side. Hello.
Wow, this mic is very loud. Okay.
That's kind of their job.
So my question was, if Jack wasn't Lucifer's son, whose son would you want him to be?
Well, I feel like I kind of got the best of both worlds. You know, I ended up getting, you know, I had, for me, I had my Lucifer father, you know, and then I also was lucky enough in my mind, like I had Courtney Ford as my mom, which I, you know, only got to see on a laptop. Shout out Courtney Ford. And then for me, I had Sam, and for me, I always called her like my apocalypse mom, because I met her in Apocalypse World. And then, you know, for me, I had my like 3 sexy uncles, you know? Pretty decent. And plus, I'll always have Castiel, aka Trench Daddy. So I think in terms of family, I think Jack did pretty well. I've spoken about this in the past, but you know, it's I'm going to steal from RuPaul here, but it's not always the family you're born with. It's the family that you make. So yeah, I'd say Jack was very lucky that way. And I know for a lot of us here, everybody has their own issues and their own things they deal with, but yeah, to have chosen family is equally as important as you know, whoever your dad is. Even if your dad is Mark Pellegrino. Hello.
I'm Avery. This is my first con.
Woo! How are you feeling?
I'm a little
Don't lie.
nervous.
A little nervous.
Maybe 8.
That's pretty good.
I was wondering, I know that Jared and Justin often made you break character a lot, and I was wondering if you ever got them back for that.
No, I've been getting them back for years by being here. Just remember, the ultimate revenge is just sticking around, you know? Living out of spite. No, I did, you know, sometimes at night before I fall asleep, I fantasize of what I do. Don't take that too long. I drive all the way to Texas. Fucking do it. No, so I did have one idea for my ultimate revenge. Would you like to hear it?
Yes!
Okay. For those of you who are concerned about what I'm going to say, like old school, give your kids the earmuffs, you know?
Yes.
Alright, 2001. Damn, I get old. Okay. So we finally come back after COVID, and I'm shooting my last episode, and the last thing we shoot that I was there for, I've already done my goodbye speech and whatever. So we're all sitting in the Impala, which is on stage 2, and we have our screens rolling by, so it looks like we're you know, I'm sure we fooled you guys so many times with that car setup, right?
Yes.
You guys are like, they're definitely outside. So we're shooting that, and it's my final scene with all 3 of the guys, and you know, I wanted to like have something special to say, and you know, to try to sum up the last 3 years of my life, which I was just so thankful for to be a part of the show, which I still am. So basically, my idea was Jensen and Jared like very expensive scotch, it turns out. So what I was gonna do was, I went to the liquor store, and there's this fantastic, it's called Johnny Walker Blue. It's delicious. It's like you're drinking water, but, you know, a little spicy. So my idea was that I would give them this really beautiful scotch as kind of a thank you for just having me on the show and, you know, letting me be a part of all this. So we finished the scene, and then it's my last scene, so, you know, the crew is like, you know, they say thank you, and I spend the time thanking the crew and just for, you know, doing these long hours with us. So my idea was this, that I would be like, actually, I got you guys something. I'm just gonna pull out, and the nice scotches that come in boxes, right? Yeah. So I was gonna give them the box and be like, hey, I just wanted to thank you guys. I'm just so thankful to be here. Like, thank you. And I was like, hey, would you mind actually opening the box for everybody? This is my imagination, so bear with me. And then my plan was to have them open the bottle of the box in front of everybody, and just inside, one giant dildo. However, we just got back from COVID, so I mean, I didn't feel like being unprofessional was kind of the best time. Plus, I think if you gift your coworkers those kind of things, it could really go badly for you. So, Christmas is coming up, guys. Christmas, birthdays, don't get your coworkers dildos. Because I don't want to get anybody fired. And I was concerned that, you know, this could really be bad for me. However, the fantasy of it was fantastic. That was the best I got in terms of revenge. I picture the look on their faces, you know? Yes. Thinking about how they're gonna drink this tasty scotch, and instead they get to drink water. Hi.
My name is Asher. I have the blanket that we wrap around our shoulders.
Great job there with the blanket. Look real cozy.
It is very cozy. My question is, so I have this theory that Jack really is obsessed with squishmallows. They're like stuffed animal pillow things. And I was just wondering, like, if you thought that was something Jack would be into.
Well, I don't know what it is, so it's hard for me to know that. But for the sake of the question, yes. It's a pillow you can squish?
It's like a stuffed animal, and they come in like small or like really big, and they're just really soft and cozy and comfy to cuddle.
Well, listen, Jack could have definitely used some comfort throughout the show. Almost as soon as he was born, he was just thrust into doing shit all the time. So you know what? He probably could have used that. So, you know, in the God spinoff, hook it up. Why? You got a connection?
I've got quite a few, so I can share
You
with
could be
them.
our stuffy guy. You could be a person who brings it on set for everyone.
Yep. Yes.
There you go. Yeah, no, Jack, yeah, he had to just do a lot of stuff all the time. You know, for a kid that was supposed to be in daycare, kind of got in a lot of violence and trouble, and yeah. Hello.
Hi, my name is Allison. I'm from Northwest Indiana, so finally not somebody from Wisconsin.
I was waiting for an all-out brawl here again, so, yeah.
You keep mentioning Blink-182. I also am a Blink-182 fan.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
See, that's what it is.
Yeah.
This was the music of our youth, and now it's quickly faded away.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
I was going to ask how you feel and what your thoughts are on Matt Skiba being the singer now.
Who?
From Alkaline Trio.
What?
What? Do you not listen to current Blink?
No. I'm all about nostalgic Blink-182.
Okay, well, correct that. Did you ever listen to Alkaline Trio?
No.
Okay, well then I think you need to do that.
Alkaline Trio.
Yes.
All right, so now I gotta look up Alkaline Trio, the Bishop person, and I gotta find out about these stuffed bears. A lot of homework from these panels. Yeah, no, more in the nostalgic thing. I want to remember, you know, what it was like to feel young, right?
Driving with the windows down. I still feel young. I mean,
Good for you. Tell me your secrets.
I have no secrets. It's just do what you want to do and feel good about it.
That can also lead to a lot of addiction problems, but yeah, sure. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Alex. My name is Alyssa.
Are you from Wisconsin?
Nope.
Okay.
I own a farm in the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
You own a farm?
I do. I am a full-time farmer, full-time nurse. It's exhausting.
Both? And you made it here this weekend.
Yes. This
Who is milking the cows right now? We are about due for second milking.
Well, unfortunately, I have goats and horses, no cows, so there's not too much milking right now.
Damn, all right.
So I know you said that you like.
So if Jack was a farm animal, what would he be?
Well, I was going to ask what your favorite barnyard animal is, but that's a good question.
No, what's your question? My questions don't matter.
What is your favorite barnyard animal?
I feel like you swapped the questions here. I feel like that wasn't your real question.
No, it really was. It really was.
Okay. I don't know. My favorite, so I grew up near farms. My favorite was always when the barn cats had new litters of kittens. That was always my favorite. Because then, yeah, the first cat that I ever got, we had two. One got eaten by coyotes. Circle of life, baby. Yeah, the Lion King was a little optimistic. He's like, these are all, or he's far as the eye can see. And he was never just also we're gonna devour that guy over there. Instead they're eating bugs. Weird. Yeah, I'd say the kittens were my favorite.
Good answer.
How's the farming going? That's crazy.
It's expensive. expensive. And,
It's so much work.
It's hard. Yes, it's very hard. But it's good. It's a life choice, I guess. It's a decision.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No regrets, I guess. Perhaps.
I'm gonna get that tattoo. No regrets for now. Thanks. Good luck on the farm. Jeez.
Hi Alex, I'm
Hi.
Gabrielle and I'm a theater teacher from Colorado, so not Wisconsin.
I feel like we're starting an accidental beef with Wisconsin.
They started it, but
Spicy.
first of all, I gotta say, Glengarry Glen Ross is like a very man suggestion for a play.
Yes!
But it's fine.
Yeah. Got some breaking news. Man.
And my question is, since I teach theater, what's a piece of acting advice you wish you had gotten earlier in your career?
Oh God. So much. So much. Mentorship is really important. I'd say that. If you guys are in a position in your life where you can mentor someone, I think that is one of the best things you can do for, I don't know, any upcoming generation, or if you care about your craft or your job. I think mentorship is really important. But yeah, so I don't know, what's the piece of advice you give your students the most? I love that piece of advice.
I think it's just like if you're doing it right. Like just going for it kind of thing, not being afraid to mess up, because we're all gonna do it, and that's fine.
As in, we're all gonna mess up?
We're all gonna do it, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Rob, you got any acting advice?
Acting advice.
With Rob Benedict, star of Stage and Screen.
Take an acting class. And that's a
great. She's an acting teacher. Were you listening?
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
So you're off to a great start. You're an acting teacher.
Theater, yeah.
And you want advice for your students?
Yes.
Got it. Yeah.
Wow, we're great at
Get
this.
to know yourself. So you can be honest in your work. Journal a lot.
Journaling, okay.
Observe other people. And get to know Richard Spade Jr.
Yeah. Step one. Oh, actually, my biggest piece of advice for really any field of work would be this. Nepotism.
And ladies and gentlemen, from Alcal's lips to your ears, nepotism, the secret to success. You know him, you love him, and you do him better